Just got the call here.
Hi, John. I wanted to follow up on the proposal I sent over. Have you had a chance to review it? If everything looks good, please go ahead and sign it so our team can move forward with the project as soon as possible.
All right, will do.
Great. Thank you, John.
Yeah, so that's how the call would go. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is a pretty bold claim, but I am certain that I can help you fix your prospecting or at least change the way you see taking on clients, and especially the phase before onboarding where you're on the call. So usually when you run these kinds of systems, you are looking to do one thing and one thing only, that is to minimize the time that you spend on low ROI activities. That means anything from unnecessary logistical work to sending proposals here and there, chasing after clients, and so on. And what you want more of is activities that add bottom line revenue for your business. So sales and improving workflows, all that kind of stuff, which is detrimental to your business. Now, I personally use this system to ensure that after my deployment, I don't have to spend hours manually logging sales data or tracking follow-ups, basically doing all the repetitive work that no one wants to do and things that can be easily automated. Now, what the system offers to me is the fact that I already have high quality, and this one's important, individually personalized proposals before I even get off the call with my prospects. Now, we also have a follow-up system that handles Q&A and reactivation campaigns. So if the person that I just got off the call with sort of was a bit skeptical or they didn't really know if they wanted to go ahead or not, this AI assistant actually calls them after my call ends, and then this AI assistant actually calls them and says, hey, John, have you had time to look at the proposal? Or have you thought about my offer yet? Now, if you combine this with a more comprehensive automatic follow-up system, the way that I have built it out right now, if you combine this with a more comprehensive follow-up system, I just have an outbound call. Right now, I only have one outbound call that gets sent out right after they fill out right after the proposal is sent. Right now, I just have one outbound call going out right after the proposal is sent to the client. The thing with high ticket and prospecting in general is that, like, if you send them a tailored proposal, if you send them a tailored proposal instantly right after, and they have a voice agent that calls them up, like an AI voice agent, it'll not only impress them, but it'll make sure that you and them are on the same page and they know the caliber of person that they are working with. This is the actual automation sequence, and I built all of this in Make, so I'll hop over there and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, now this may look a bit complicated, but I can simplify this very easily for you. This first part here takes in the form responses. This main part is the one that will actually generate the PDF proposal, and it will also filter out if you had a no-show. So, for example, if the client didn't show up, you can actually mark this in one of the type forms, and it would then send you down this path right here, which now this first part is responsible for catching the information. So, for example, if you have that is not the right word. Okay, so this first part right here will sort of take in the typeform responses, and this section right here will actually generate the proposal PDF. But there's two ways this can go. So you can either say in your typeform that the prospect is not qualified, which would take them down this path, and it would sort of waitlist them. So it would say, actually, I can show you the email. Hey, their name, whatever the name is, and this is actually part of the personalization. You can map these answers to the typeform. This is just to inform you that we're not really taking unqualified projects at the moment, etc., etc. So basically, it would sort of leave them in a waitlist if you specifically say, okay, they haven't qualified. However, if they do qualify, this is the main segment which actually creates the proposal PDF. Now, in this section here, if you go down the send proposal route, it actually will wait for a bit, and it will set up a bland API call, and there's going to be a voice agent on the other line saying, hey, thank you for your time on the call. We've just, have you had time to receive the proposal, or have you had time to look over the proposal? After that, it's going to actually send out the email, which looks a bit like this. So you've got, hey, their name, thank you for the time of your call, and then basically we look forward to working with you, etc., etc. And in the attachments, you can actually add the filename.pdf along with the data. The second thing that this accomplishes is actually sending out a notification to your team via Slack or to yourself. In case of a no-show, or if the prospect simply doesn't show up, you can actually, this automation actually features a sort of follow-up call as well. So you've got a filter set up. If you go up this no-show route, it will send out a Blend API call with a prompt that says, call up the prospect and ask why they haven't showed up, and basically follow up on them, see if we can get another meeting going. All right, this is the automation, and now I'm going to show you the individual components that actually make up this. So I'm going to show you, so let's go into Typeform first. Yeah, this is how the Typeform looks like. We've got basic client information. So first name, last name, company details, email, and then a number that the AI agent will be calling. By the way, I would be filling this out right after I hop off the call. So the next question would be, what was the outcome of the call? And it would either go one of three ways. So you do send the proposal, they haven't qualified, either they don't meet your requirements, or they're just, yeah, it just doesn't work out, or they don't even show up. And depending on that, you can configure these routes. So you have filters here that say if that answer is a send proposal, or if it's no show, or if it's quality, go down these routes. And that all depends on which answer you select here. We have a one sentence description of their business. This will also help the AI to generate the proposal. This is sort of the main pain point. This is what I do with a lot of the people that I work with. Is the one thing that I should be automating, it goes in here. Usually, once you have a pain point, you kind of also know what to do, a proposed solution. So I might have one in my mind, and then I'll just write it down here as well. All of this gets fed into GPT and helps generate the proposal. It also needs softwares. So what kind of softwares I'm using? I usually use Make, but you can use others like N8N and Zapier and all that stuff. So you'd specify all that in here. You also say how long will the project take. This is important to generate the milestones that you'll see, and then obviously the price point that you're charging this project at. So the problem statement and the solution gets used to generate this proposal right here. So you can see that there's a bunch of prompts here. You'll find all of this in the templates, but there's a bunch of sample prompts and sample like business descriptions, problems, and then obviously the last message is the updated one. So you'd have their business description, which is mapped to the Typeform, and you'd also have their problem statement and solution. JSON parses this. We also have a GPT module specifically to generate the timeline and the milestones, and it looks a bit like this. It's basically an array of what to do and then when to do it. Just a really useful way of like dividing tasks and stuff. Again, we parse JSON, and then I'm actually using document to generate the proposal. There's you can use pandadoc as well. I prefer to do it on here. I find it to be easier with like communicating cross-platform and APIs and stuff. But yeah, you would map a lot of the data, for example, client company or their problems. You'd map all of it in here, and based on the JSON format as well, you would add things like client milestone. This is interesting. Let's go down to the send proposal route and take a look at the Slack message, because this is really interesting. Slack has this new thing where if we just go here, they have what you call a block kit builder. This is really cool to play around with because you can actually do agent-based workflows that are in Slack itself. And here on the left is the sort of message that you would be getting. You get a description of the project, so what the client wants. You also get a rough timeline. This is really cool. You have like these interactive checkboxes with the tasks. By the way, this is all AI generated, so the description, the tasks, and a link to the proposal will also be generated. And then you can either confirm, or you can say, okay, I don't like the timeline, or you can say, I don't like the proposed solution. So things like human experience are going to be more valuable than an AI generated like solution to a problem. So obviously you need to keep this in check, and this is a really, really powerful way to do it natively in Slack. All right. If you're wondering what I use to send calls, I'm using Blend AI. You can use VAPI as well. Before each sort of API call that I do, I have an API key set up. So I just define, I define this variable API key as the API key from Blend AI. If you come here to Blend's documentation, you can put in your API key, you can put in a phone number, and basically what you want to copy is everything in between these brackets in the data section. You go back to make, you would define that it's a JSON, and then you would basically map the phone number that you get from the typeform, and you would also map things like their first name. So you can have the voice AI literally say, "Hey John," or "Hey whoever." Right now I just have it set to say hi and then hang up. A full prompt here would be like, call the user, make sure they have viewed the proposal that you've sent over to them, and then it actually sends the email out with the proposal. This is an attachment. Okay, now I'm gonna actually demo this from start to finish. We're gonna turn it on. I'm gonna say run once, and I have my form right here. Let's just go with, I'm just going to fill this out real quick. So test name. If we submit this response and we go back to make, we can see that the scenario is running. All right, sick. There you can see I've got a notification. And if I take a look, boom, okay, first, last is qualified on a call. Based on what I fed into the type form, the AI has actually made a task for me. So in this case, it's revamping Apex Holding lead generation and client engagement systems. And it even lays out a rough timeline along with the sort of main points that you need to go through in order to build the system. It's a suggestion and it's all AI generated. I did not have to do anything else other than fill out the type form at the end of the call. You can like check these things off and stuff. It's pretty cool. And obviously we have our proposal as well. That is all fully AI generated. If we take a look here, AI development proposal. This is how it looks like. So this first half right here, this first part right here is actually part of the template. This is where the personalization kicks in. So it will be, to be specific, here's what I believe are your issues. This is where you would really describe the main pain point of the company to them. And then you have our AI generated timeline, which is the same that we received in the Slack message. And then we would also have the pricing page. This is all done automatically as well, and the proposal in terms. This is a very rough template of a proposal. You can go a lot more in depth into it and you can customize it a lot more, but this is just to show you guys that it is possible and that it works. If we go back to make, you can see that the Blend API call actually failed because, let's take a look, global handle, okay, because a internal server error. I'm not sure, but if you test it out on the playground that they have, the send call, it will successfully call your phone, and you could integrate this if their servers were working correctly. They would be receiving a call from a voice agent. In this case, they would actually be receiving a call from a voice agent that prompts them to check up, basically follows up with them on this proposal. I want to talk a bit about agentic workflows. This is a concept I heard about in a podcast. This is really like where I see most of a lot of the automations these days going. There's going to be a lot more of like this back and forth between AI and human operator, and these systems will sort of work on their own, just like this automation, but then we're actually going to have a human on the line. For example, here, these buttons aren't actually mapped to anything, so they don't do anything yet, but you could extend this out to another automation. For example, the confirm button could actually start another part of the automation system, which, I don't know, adds them to like an email list, or it redirects them to the onboarding procedure. So this is really where most of the power in these automations come from, is this sort of back and forth and this partial autonomy, but then you also have control over what the AI actually sends through and what it doesn't. You can either choose to approve the outputs, such as this one right here, or you could say, I don't like it, make me another one, or change this part of the proposal, let's say. And for me, this is like a huge time saver, because I'm not on calls anymore, and I'm not keeping up with where my prospects are and what I need to do in order to secure them. I just have the agent send out the proposal and then the call as well. And if it works, if they say yes, that's amazing. But if not, then they get automatically refed into another sequence, which if you want me to cover for next time, let me know. This automation here is really useful in order to save costs and just in general, like speed up your process, because this is key. Like rapid prospecting is one of the most useful things that you could do in a post-call sales situation. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. You can find every single template in the description. If you have questions for implementation or anything else really, or any other automations I should look over, let me know. You can also hop on a call with me. I'll be more than happy to run this through with you, and I'll see you next time.